Right, the Rotary Foundation is a non-profit corporation that supports the efforts of Rotary International to achieve world understanding and peace throughout the international humanitarian, educational and cultural exchange programs. It's supported by voluntary contributions from Rotarians and friends of the foundation who share in its vision of a better world. Each year across the world there are various Rotary conferences. Now this year's conference has announced the program of the events for their virtual two-day Centennial Conference this month, taking place on the 24th and the 25th of April. Some of the esteemed guests this year include South Africa's Finance Minister Tito Mboweni, storyteller Ms. Gcina Mhlophe, Kenyan designer and eco-innovator Anyanga Mpinga, and others who are set to join in that. But to tell us a little bit more, we are now joined by the District Governor of Rotary South Africa, Annemarie Mostert. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. Really exciting times as we get a sense exactly of what will come out of this conference and how you are planning to run it this year.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us. Yes, it's indeed an historic moment because we have decided that my district conference of District 9400 will actually be in April, and we will be kick-starting the Centennial Celebrations, because the very first Rotary Club on the continent of Africa was Johannesburg, chartered on the 1st of July. But some 100 years ago, in April next week, when we kick-start this conference, that was when 45 business people from Johannesburg at that stage signed a declaration to say they would like to form a Rotary Club on the continent in Johannesburg. And so therefore it took a long time to come back and be chartered on the 1st of July after it was approved by Rotary International at that stage. And so I'm delighted to actually kickstart a celebration of the Centennial in April. And there's a lot of historic moments. And for first, we will unite the continent of Africa, because here we have so many passionate Rotarians, as you rightfully said, volunteers giving of their time.
Now, let's talk a little bit about what makes this conference so important and some of the objectives for the year.
Well, first of all, we want to unite the continent. We want to showcase the history of 100 years of people. And some clubs are maybe 2-3 years old, or some districts even 14-15 years old. We at the moment have 16 district governors, or 15 others like myself on the continent, and my classmates, together with their clubs and presidents and their many members, very close to 39,000 on the continent, are passionate to making sustainable impact in their communities. So we have touched the lives over 100 years. We have done really incredible activities and programs that today still one can actually see the impact in the communities. But then we have celebrations. We have to celebrate a wild polio-free Africa. The last bit, as you know, last year in August, it was declared polio-free, and that was the last was actually in Nigeria. So only in the world, another 2 countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan, but then the continent is polio-free. So we have those incredible moments that Rotary was actually the forerunner and the driver to make that a better world for everybody. But then we're looking at peace and reconciliation, water and sanitation. Our very new focus area for the Rotary Foundation is also the protecting the environment. And you mentioned some of those incredible young people that will be speaking during this conference, to saying they are protecting, they're the forerunners. They are looking at a sustainable textile industry, an industry that's now green, and how can we best promote that. So we'll have our Honourable from South Africa, Honourable Tito Mboweni, speaking at the global, but also the economy on the continent of Africa. And we have, also, for instance, Ambassador for Portugal that will speak to a greener Africa. As you know, Portugal is at this stage the European Union chairperson, and so he will be fresh from the 23rd. I think that's a global environmental summit to come and actually address us. But we have various others. We have really our flag bearers, United Nations. We have a women's session. After me comes in District Governor Stella Anyangwe, the first black woman in 100 years in our district to fly the flag. And she's from Cameroon, but she's a South African now, being here for 16 years. And so I want to say to you, we are so looking forward to next weekend where we can celebrate greatness on the continent.
You speak about celebrating greatness on the continent and, talking about the work the Rotary has done over the past 100 years. I suppose this year and last year, a lot changed when it comes to the manner in which countries are running and perhaps responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. How much has the pandemic shifted the dynamics of your work?
Well, first of all, we are, like everybody, we are social beings. We love to be in contact with one another. We meet actually around the world. We're 1.2 million Rotarians, but we meet in person. And all of a sudden, it was then virtual. But how beautiful, Jan, that we could now bring in everybody actually into your, on Zoom, into your own sitting room, into your own lounge. We can actually connect with all our Rotarians from around the world. So yes, it has profoundly, from a meeting point of view and from a direct in contact point of view, has changed our lives as Rotarians, but we still engage with our communities because that will never change. We find ways to find and to close the gap and find the solutions. And yes, I think that from a COVID point of view, one of the very big focus areas of Rotary is in the health space. Not only eradication of polio, that's over the past 35 years our main focus, but I can say to you that we have the Rotary Family Health Days, we have various other activities around the globe and around the world about the focus of in the space of health. And we are now one of those that's also advocating very strongly to take your vaccines, because it was the vaccine that actually helped the world about, the polio. But now we need to all be ready to take our vaccines for COVID. And but we also need to respect the protocols, the deep protocols, because a lot of our members are senior members and they're more of age. And so they're very worried that they might contract this. In Africa, we've rolled out some programs. Even I know in parts of Africa, when it was the Ebola broke out, they actually plugged into the infrastructure of polio to help to eradicate those harsh medical situations. If we a little bit closer to home, yes, our vaccines are not here yet, but we are the advocates to say when it comes, we need to actually be there to be vaccinated.
Annemarie, you speak about a representative from Cameroon who's now become a South African, being the first black woman in her role. Why did it take 100 years?
Well, you know what, we're the oldest club here on the continent is in Johannesburg. And so we have various district governors, black women district governors on the continent. Oh, and they are profound and they are fantastic. If I think of my classmates, Lucy and Yvonne and Jeannie, I mean, they are all on the continent. But in our district, she will be the first black woman. It's taken 100 years because transformation, it's a slow process. But it's a process in Rotary that to us is very top of mind and important. Our district is only now 12 years old because it was amalgamated with other districts. Even if the club was 100 years old, there's transformation happening all the time. And the district governor and all the portfolios and positions in Rotary International changes every year. This year, our Rotary International President is Holger Knark from Germany. Next year, it will be Dr. Shekhar Mehta from India. So in the changes. Then it will also be, and listen to this, Jennifer Jones, the first woman international president of Rotary International from Canada in 117 years when she takes office. The first woman, not black woman, women in Rotary International. It's a slow process, but we've started with that huge wave of transformation, and nobody is stopping us. So we're excited. So I hope on the 1st of July, that's a Thursday, when Stella takes office and she takes over from me, that you will actually interview her, because she's an epidemiologist, and she's was also for many, many years, 13 plus, a part of the World Health Organization. And so we're very excited to have Dr. Professor Stella coming in after me. Both her and I will be the MCs for the 2-day conference that will be virtually screened. And you know, you can't do it without having also the support of those others. But I think of 10 women company group, that's our anchor sponsors, and they're African brand architects. And so, you know, we can't do with women. And how wonderful that they were also rallying around us.
Annemarie, I'm going to have to interrupt you there as we, you know, go back now to the areas of focus over the 2-day conference. What are you going to be looking at?
Well, we're going to look at our 6 areas of focus currently, and to name a few of those, and then there's keynote speakers in each of those. So we have peace and reconciliation. Then we will also hand over 100, and we are working on the 100. We are handing over 100 community mediators from Rotary to Africa, and they are accredited training mediators by Mediators Beyond Borders International. And that was a brainchild of our district as well, and so they will be handed over. So that's peace and reconciliation. We have disease prevention, as I mentioned, that's a key area for Rotary. We have water and sanitation. And you know, that's white gold on this continent, because we are really a continent that is suffering in some areas with no water, but then also the pollution of water. And that brings us to the environment, and that's our 7th area of focus that will come into play on the 1st of July. We have then maternal and child health. There we have really anchor speakers. We have people that will unpack also where we are going in the latest of technology. Then basic education and literacy. And there we have really key people that will talk to us. We find ourselves also with Dr. Moyo from the Mandela Research Institute will speak under economic development. And the last one will be also youth service. Now, you know, one of the biggest programs of Rotary is actually our youth exchange students around the world. But here we have Rotary actors, and we have people talking about the future of Rotary.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to have to interrupt you there, but thank you for that. Rotary District Governor and Chairperson of the 2021 African Centennial Celebrations, Annemarie Mostert, speaking to us there about a busy lineup when it comes to a conference that will get underway.